Hello everyone, Hyperkind here, and welcome to Buried. Now, it's an interactive story, so pretty much if you remember those choose your own adventure books from way back when, it's just like that, but it's on a computer, so pretty cool. I always did love those stories, and the story of Buried, from what I've read about it so far, seems really interesting, so we're going to take a look at this, and we're going to play through it, so here we go. So, Buried is an interactive story. The plot will change based on the choices you make. The story is broken into 5 chapters. Play straight through or at your own pace. There is no waiting and no pauses. Enjoy and choose wisely. Alright, let's just jump right into this. Oh. Alright, so we're in a forest or something? I open my eyes and the first thing I want to do is scream. I'm flat on my back and everything seems to hurt. The trees overhead look familiar. It's a clear night sky, almost beautiful. Except for the fact that this means I've been out cold for at least 6 hours. But there's something wrong. I don't remember what, but something happened and... My head. My God, my head hurts. And a ringing in my ears. Was there an accident? An explosion, I think. I remember Dennis screaming, but after that, I can't remember. As I sit up, I notice that my hard hat has been thrown off. I look around the area, but it's not here. It feels strange to go anywhere without my hard hat, but I've got to find the other members of the crew. They could be in danger. Alright, so... something happened, some kind of incident. I've been on the floor, I've been knocked out cold for 6 hours, possibly more or less. We don't know what's going on, we don't have a hard hat. We're in the forest. Other people could be hurt as well, so we could either search for a hard hat or forget the hat, search for the crew. Now, if I've been out cold, who knows what else could have happened. You know what? Let's find other people. Forget the hat, let's search for the crew. I decide my hat can wait until I figure out what's going on. I get up and take a look around the logging site. I smell something burning, and don't hear any engines running. Wait, something isn't right. Was it the bulldozer? Maybe the damn thing overheated for the last time. Maybe the engine finally blew. What a mess. Well, maybe I'm jumping to conclusions. Only one way to find out, I guess. I walk over to the center of the logging site, and I don't like what I see. Oh, what is it? What happened? Oh, shit. The logging site looks like a bomb was detonated right in the center. I don't know where to start. The one load we had managed to stack on a truck for the day is overturned, the trailer bent, and the logs hanging off the back. Where the hell is everyone? My head is killing me, and this ringing in my ears. I can't hear anything. Not birds, not my footsteps, nothing. It makes me wonder if I hit my head after my hard hat flew off. I run through a quick mental checklist to make sure my brain is still working. My name is Roger Hastings. I'm 41 years old. The year is 2017. I own a small logging company and we've been logging in the strip of Kentucky woodland for almost a month now. Okay, so my brain works. That's a relief, but it also makes me fearful because something is certainly not right here. I look around the logging site, my mind trying to figure out what has happened. Just about every piece of equipment has been overturned or tilted. What the hell? So, look at the debris or look at the truck. Now, was there somebody in the truck when all of this went down? Possibly. There could be somebody in there. The debris is just everything that's around. I think that I would have noticed. I mean, I could possibly see that some kind of incident happened, but I know shit's already messed up. So let's take a look at the truck. Let's see if we can look inside. There might be somebody in there. The truck. The hitch is completely broken, like it was blown off in an explosion or a really bad accident. Had there been an explosion, all of the fuel on site would have started a fire, but there's no charring, no burning, nothing. I walked through the area where Dennis had been working. From the looks of it, he'd been moving slowly. He'd only taken down 4 trees today. That damn slacker! His metal lunchbox is open, an indicator that he had been taking an early break. But he's not here. No one is here. Where the hell is everyone? I could try to make a call on my cell phone, but its battery is already running really low. Not that it matters. The reception is crap out here. Okay, so if the reception is terrible, there's not going to be any reason to call on the cell phone, because if I use it now, that's only going to kill the phone, and I'm probably not going to be able to reach anybody. So, alright, so we're going to yell out. We're going to see if there's anybody that's able to hear me. Hopefully they respond. Hey guys, where is everyone? Tony, Dennis, Frank, Joe? But their names fall flat among the wreckage. I get nothing back other than scaring away English away a few birds overhead. Might as well start walking and try to find some answers. The highway is almost a mile back through the woods, down the gravel road we used to reach the site. Maybe the crew ran that way for help. But why would they have left me? Were they scared? Out of sorts? Maybe I can catch up to them, but with my truck turned over on its side, it looks like I'll be walking. My god, I can't even remember what I was doing before waking up on my back. Wait, what's that underneath the bulldozer? Oh my god, it's a leg. It has to be either Tony or Dennis. The dozer looks unstable, like it might roll some more. Might not be safe to get close, but at the same time, I can't just leave him there. If I don't try to push the truck or anything, it might not roll. However, there's somebody under there, so I mean, I might be able to find something, or I might be able to tell who it is. If I stay back, I'm not able to see who it is, so let's go and take a look. Let's try to see if we can find out who that is. Maybe get something or something, I don't know. Let's go take a look. Hey, Ayo, are you okay? Are you alive? I skip over the stray logs and wrecked equipment to get closer. Seeing the dozer teeter makes me think I should have grabbed my hat. Aw, damn it. I can see a bit more of the leg. The jeans are soaked in blood. I recognize the work boots. It's clearly Tony. His leg is bent at an impossible angle, nearly crushed flat. The closer I get, the more apparent it becomes that Tony didn't survive. Okay, if we try to pull the body out, there's a good chance that that could like mess with the truck. It could hurt me, so we're gonna leave the body alone just in case. We can come back with somebody and like try to get his body. There's nothing I can do for him now. I start to walk back away slowly. In my shock, I stumble back, suddenly tripping over one of the stray logs. I bang my head hard on one of the logs as I fall. Instantly, I can feel a massive lump forming on the back of my head. Damn! Why didn't I grab my hard hat? Damn it! But what hurts more is a realization that Tony is dead. Looking at him, I feel something rising up in my throat, and I don't know if it's a scream or vomit. But I have to push it away. If I lose my cool right now, there are too many questions that will go unanswered. Shit, I can't believe this. Tony, he had 2 boys. He coached his oldest son's baseball team. He was the hardest worker I had and was one of the most honest and reliable men I knew. This isn't right. I can't stay here. I have to find Dennis, Frank, and Joe. I have to find out what happened here. So, we haven't gotten any answers. Shit's still messed up. What the hell happened? Where is everybody else? As I walk through the stacks of logs from the last week or so of work, everything feels frozen. This high-pitched sound in my ears, it's terrible. It keeps happening every few seconds and sounds like it's coming from far away. I can't help but wonder, is it my ears or is it something else? The silence out here is creepy, and there's a smell, like the atmosphere after a bad summer storm. I might as well admit it, I'm a little scared. Everyone is missing and it's dead quiet out here. There doesn't even seem to be a breeze to rustle the leaves and branches. My right knee hurts like hell. My head was hurting so bad before that I never even noticed the pain in my knee. I must have heard it during the... well, during the what? Accident or... wait, is that Dennis? I see him sitting on the ground, motionless, about 30 feet away. Okay, so... Dennis might be in the same shape that I am. He could be alive. We can't tell if he's dead or not. I don't think I want to walk up to him. I mean, I don't want to scare him just in case. I might want to try calling out to him to see if he's alive first. But oh man, if there was any, like, if something did happen, but no, it's been a couple of hours since something happened. So, you know what? Let's yell out to Dennis. Let's see if he's alive. Dennis, I yell. Dennis, can you hear me? Dennis lets out a shot. He's alive! Like someone waking from a nightmare. He then looks back at me from the ground. Yeah, Roger, I hear you, he hollers back as I head over to him. Dennis is built like a wrestler and he has a tough personality to match. But in this moment, he looks disoriented and even a little anxious. Though I'm glad to see him, the fear on his usually confident face is alarming. What the hell happened? What's going on? He asks. So we can either tell him, don't know, the crew's missing, or an explosion, I think. So we don't know if it was an explosion. I mean, it seems like it, but there was no, like, from what we've seen, it doesn't seem like there's been any, like, scorch marks or anything. I don't know if I've been looking around for that, but you know what? We're not sure exactly, so don't know. The crew is missing. Missing, Dennis says. Where do you think they went? I'm not sure, I say, but it has me pretty freaked out. Something's not right here. Still sitting on the ground, he looks around the woods as if he is just now understanding the severity of the situation. The equipment was overturned. The dozers too, I say, wiping my forehead. You okay, I ask him. Yeah, just shaken up. Me too. This might be the most intimate conversation Dennis and I have ever had. While he and I always have been on good terms, we've never been particularly close. I've always respected him, though. Sure, he's come to work a few times looking like he'd been in a bar fight the night before, but I've also seen him do an enthusiastic impression of a dinosaur as he played with Tony's kids while they waited for their dad to finish up his shift. And then it hits me. Dennis and Tony were good friends. I'm not sure I want to rattle him with the news of Tony's death right now. Not before we know what's going on, but he has a right to know. He does. Now, I do feel that holding the news about Tony back might kind of hurt what we've got going on, right? What little we have going on. So we're going to let him know Tony is dead. You're up front with Dennis about Tony. Dennis' eyes fixate on me, startled. He was crushed under the dozer, I say. Dennis pauses for a moment, like he's trying to understand what I said. His eyes narrow and his bottom lip quivers. Shit, he says, and I can tell that he's fighting back tears. He and Tony had been tight, almost like brothers. Hey, he adds quickly, as if trying to escape the reality of Tony's death. Did you see that light? No, I say. What did you see? I don't even know, Roger, he says. It was like this flare of white light. It came right up out of the ground like an explosion. So there was an explosion, I say. Maybe it was some equipment or... This is no equipment, Dennis interrupts, agitated. This huge ball of light came right out of the damn ground. What the hell? What did it... There's no sense in asking what did it look like. It was a ball of light. So where did it go? It just shot up into the sky until it was out of sight. When? I'm not sure, he answers, but I had finished about 10 trees for the day and was about to top one. That's when it happened. You're almost done with 10 trees, I asked? Yeah, he says, looking at the ground. You know, I wouldn't want to take a lunch break until I was done. And that's when that light blew up. Why? You don't believe me? I think he's kind of exaggerating about how many trees Especially since we also seen the open lunchbox. But you know what? I believe you. You believe Dennis's story. He saw what he saw, I think to myself. He has no reason to lie about this. My god, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, he says. But if I'm being honest, it scared me pretty bad. And if it's all the same to you, I'd like to get the hell out of here. We both stand up and start heading towards the road. It isn't until we start moving that I see Dennis is wounded. His right side is coated in blood, the red seeping through his blue work shirt. There are splatters of it here and there, but also a very large red splotch that makes me worried. There's no sense in asking how did he get the injury, because something happened, and he was unconscious then or something, but yeah, so let's just find out if he's okay. I've been better. I don't know how much longer I can stay on my feet, he says. What happened, I ask. I'm not sure, Dennis replies. I must have gotten thrown or hurt somehow from that light. It's then that I notice the strange ringing noise is still filling the air. Hey, I say, stopping. Do you hear that high-pitched ringing noise every once in a while? Dennis looks scared when I ask him this question and he just nods. I thought it was just me, he says. He looks out of sorts and uncertain. I've never seen him like this before. It's obvious that he's looking for some reassurance. Even though I'm his boss, there's something very unnerving about this. So, there's no sense on scaring Dennis any further. We want to keep him going. So we're gonna reassure him. Well, it'll be okay. It's probably nothing. Let's be realistic, I tell myself. I might as well try to be empathetic. Out here in the middle of these woods, the ringing could be anything. Maybe a car alarm from through the woods or something. Still, even my passive comment seems to have reassured Dennis. He looks a bit calmer, more relaxed. We both start moving forward and don't say another word. Did you try to call Frank? Dennis asks. I know he had his cell phone on him today. Not yet. Luckily, I still have some battery left. I pull up my cell and call Frank, happy that I didn't make the call to Dennis earlier. It rings, but he doesn't pick up. But then I hear his phone go off behind the stack of logs. Dennis and I give each other a look. As the phone goes to voicemail, I hang up and we walk behind the logs to find Frank's phone on the ground, abandoned. We look around for Frank, but find nothing. Not a single trace. It's then that I notice something really odd. A 10-foot wide hole in the ground right near where the phone was. But there's no stray piles of removed dirt or rocks. It's clean, smoothly dug, cutting into the earth, wide but only a few feet deep. It looks unnatural, like the ground was just deleted. No shovels or diggers used. Dennis walks over to it. This looks like the same kind of hole where I saw the light come from the ground, he muses to himself. I say nothing. My mind is spinning, but I don't know what to think. We need to get out of here, Dennis mutters. At this moment, that ringing noise carries through the forest again, sending a shiver down my spine. Dennis is right. There's something strange going on, and we might not be safe here. But that ringing sound could be a clue to where the rest of the crew went. So we can either just agree and get away, or we can investigate the sound and try to see what's going on. So it is possible that the ringing sound is connected to everything, and we gotta find out what it is. Alright, you know what? Let's go check it out. You decide to check out the sound. Something's not right, I say, and if there's a mechanical noise like that, you think someone is out here, he asks? Maybe. I think we should at least check it out. They might be able to help. Yeah, you go right ahead, he says with a grin. I'll be waiting for you. Better hurry, though. Dennis doesn't look like he's in the best shape to be trouncing around in the forest, but we need some answers right away, too. So, we don't know where everybody else is, and if watching any horror movies from before, splitting up is always a bad idea. So, I'm sorry, Dennis, you're coming with us. You decided to bring Dennis along. No, you're coming with me. I bend over and hoist him up against my shoulder. He resists just barely and then gives in. He's looking at me like he's terrified of me now, making a moan in his throat. We start moving through the woods quickly, with no idea where the rest of the crew is. I worry they could be in danger. Every tree out here looks exactly the same. I grew up in the country and could find my way around the forest without much of a problem, but I'm feeling dizzy. I'm leaning against a tree when I see something that has no business being out here. Our logging crew had been out here for 3 weeks and I've never seen it before. Oh, what did we see? What is that, a door? No, it's a small building, sort of like mixture of shack and a bunker. It looks to be made of concrete, but moss, weeds, and plain old erosion also make it look sort of mystical. It looks like something out of a demented version of a medieval fantasy movie. What the hell is this? Dennis asks. Some old power station? A shack and a bunker. You know what? I've got no idea. You purchased this land, right, boss? Dennis asked. Didn't you survey it? I certainly did, I say, getting a little defensive, but this wasn't here. Do you think the others maybe went in here? He asks nervously. Why would they do that? I ask. I don't know, but they aren't out here. If they aren't inside, they're probably dead, like Tony. He looks at the ground as he says this. I want to go inside, not just to find my crew, but also to appease my curiosity. That ringing noise is coming from the inside. But something about this place seems incredibly strange, especially located all by itself out here. It simply does not belong. I wonder, do we just knock or go in? Dennis asks. I can tell that he's trying to make a joke, but it falls flat. I'm starting to think his humor is a defensive mechanism for his fear. We both look ahead, take a moment to realize what we're about to do, and start forward. We get no more than 3 feet closer when Dennis wobbles. You know what? Let's reach out. Let's keep him going. I reach out quickly, straining my injured knee. I barely make it in time, grabbing him under his arms and keeping him from hitting the ground. I'm okay, he said. Can you just help me walk for a little while? Just help me inside, please. I can't deny him his request. I've never seen him this week, and it's a little uncomfortable to see. It makes me glad I decided to keep him with me. I help Dennis into the weird little building. The front door opens easily, even though there's clearly a lock on it. Maybe the lock was supposed to keep someone in. It's hard to tell. I still hear that ringing noise. It's definitely coming from in here. Stretching out in front of me is a small interior to match the outside. The building is totally empty. There's a concrete floor and dingy, featureless walls. There are no windows, giving this place an even more isolated feel. Still, we hear the ringing noise coming from somewhere in here. It's louder now, more prominent. The interior feels confined at first, but a small set of concrete steps leads about 5 feet down, revealing a corridor. What the hell is this building? Oh, what the hell? It's a massive corridor. In fact, like I'm in some kind of building underground, it seems to go on forever. This corridor is mostly dark with emergency lights every 10 feet or so. I assume we're now underground because this corridor extends far beyond the walls of the building we've entered. I realize that someone might not appreciate finding us here. So this is something, it's secret, it's in the middle of the woods. I don't think we should just be walking around just making noise everywhere. Let's be quiet about this, stealthy. I feel like a ghost, like I truly have no business being here. Dennis leans on me for support. We move slowly, our feet not making a sound. If anyone is in here, I want to make sure they don't hear us. We tiptoe forward as softly as we can. As I carry Dennis to the far end of this otherwise featureless place, I see a flight of concrete stairs leading down. I have to set Dennis down on the floor. His weight is killing me. Dennis, are you okay? Stop worrying, man, he says. I'll be okay. I just need a minute to rest. But looking at him, I'm not so sure. I can still hear the ringing noise every so often coming from somewhere in here. I look ahead at the concrete stairs, pointing towards them so that Dennis sees them. Can he make it down those stairs? I asks. He stands up slowly and is visibly making an effort not to fall back down. Yeah, he says, and sounds a little irritated. He starts for the stairs without me, and I have no choice but to follow. We approach the stairs, and just by looking at them, I get the sense that we're crossing some sort of line here. There may very well be no going back. Oh, let's do this! What the hell is this place? So we're going down the stairs. As I head down the stairs, I notice that they look aged. That damn ringing noise is somewhere below, louder than ever. I feel like I'm walking down into the cellar of a haunted house, the light becoming scarce as the stairs take a slight turn. I can feel the temperature drop. Dennis makes it a few steps down before he's leaning against the wall. He's breathing like he's finished a marathon. You know what? Motorcycle, thank you so much. Alright, so let's let him take a short break. Let's take a break, I say, putting my hand towards his shoulders to help steady him. Dennis lets out a sigh. Thanks, I don't feel too great, boss. I would assume so, you've got like a giant wound on yourself. As we both squat down on a stair, my mind seems to lock in on the unknown fate of the rest of my crew. Frank is married and I've met his wife a few times. A nice woman with a huge laugh. My heart sags a bit when I realize I might never again get to hear him belting out a classic rock tunes during his lunch break. Joe, well, I don't know too much about him. He's 22 years old and is considering community college. His folks are deadbeats, so he's been providing for himself since the age of 16 or so. Maybe I can still find them and still get to hear Frank singing in his deep baritone voice after a few too many drinks. After a few moments, Dennis is alright, let's keep going. We both stand up leaning on each other. I have to make Dennis stay behind me as I stick my foot out in search of the next step. I can't help feeling like a child as a very powerful fear seizes me. I'm expecting a monster to reach out of the darkness, slicing into my throat. After what feels like forever, we come to the bottom of the stairs. We're closer to that ringing noise now. A door sits securely in the wall and looks just as out of place down here as I feel. A sliver of light seeps through, illuminating the area. The door has what looks like a panel with lots of labels and lights. Small embossed print above the panel says Level 1 Entrance Gate, Transport Sector, and there's a button with no label. We can either push the button, or we can inspect the panel. You know what? As much as I would want to push the button, we don't know what it's going to do. It could be an alarm, so let's take a look at the rest of the panel. The panel looks like a diagnostic or alert system of some kind, each label meant to communicate some status. Lockdown engaged, experiment in progress, shutdown engaged. Those all appear to be off, but one of the phases has a slowly blinking red light next to it, the only powered light on this whole thing. Abnormal entity breach. What the hell? Exactly, what is that? I slowly push the door open when Dennis suddenly steps in front of me, taking the lead. Let's go, he says. I want to find out what the hell this place is. As Dennis walks through, that ringing or beeping or whatever it is gets a little louder. The door closes behind us with a click. I can't help but notice a wobble in Dennis's step as he lets out a grunt. You sure you're healthy enough to keep going, I ask? It doesn't matter. I don't want to be in the woods right now. He seems scared, something I've never seen before. Angry, yes. Upset, yes. But Dennis is never scared. Did he see something else that's messing with him? I want to know. I don't know what it was, boss. It was like someone had left a radio on, crackling, but we don't have any radios at the site. It was, I don't know. It was like something in the forest was moving. I give him a doubtful look as he casts his eyes to the ground, frustrated. I know how it sounds, he says, but I know what I felt. It was like walking into a funeral parlor, feeling death and gloom everywhere. I've been so preoccupied with my own fear that I nearly forgot about the ringing noise. It had become just background noise. We take a few more steps and I can now see where we are. It makes no sense. Yet another thing that simply seems out of place. The shapes and muted colors of metal are easy to identify, but it just doesn't belong here. End of chapter 1. So, what do we see? The shapes and muted colors of metal are easy to identify. What is it? So this was the end of chapter 1. So, are we continuing on, or... Respect... Oh, nice! You and 36% of players left Tony's body where you found it. Secrets. You and 76% of players were upfront with Dennis about Tony's death. Trust. You and 55% told Dennis you believed his story. Curiosity. You and 75% of players went to investigate the ringing sound. Teamwork. You and 64% of players decided to bring Dennis with you. That is pretty cool. So it also lets you know what everybody else is picking. And oh man, where are we? And what the hell? Why is this building here? Oh, this is gonna be interesting. But alright guys, I'm gonna wrap up this video here. This has been Buried. I'll have the link for it from the Steam store in the description. Let me know what you guys think. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe buttons to keep on following with what's gonna be happening with Buried. Alright, and as always, I will see you on the next video. Laters, guys.
Alright, kick back, relax, and grab yourself a beverage. A hop if you wanna just bounce to my leverage. The evidence, as they say, is in the pudding. So show me the money like my name was Cuba Gooding. It ain't fool's gold, it's gold, fool. Can't stop, won't stop, keeping it old school. So cool.